Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative Headline News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Here are today's headlines. Point Lisa's powers back to life as IBIS Steel officially reopens its doors in Trinidad, signaling a massive boost for local jobs and industry. First good news in a very long time, and of course, I will give credit when credit is due. In Jamaica, healthcare gets a major upgrade as the university hospital expands to cut waiting time and boost emergency care. And in global news, Middle East tensions escalate after Iran. Well, it's not really Iran, it's the terrorist leaders in Iran, the Ayatollah and the IRGC, the bullies, issues bold new conditions to Washington to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Stay tuned, of course, for the full news report up next. The IBIS Steel Company officially recommissioned its manufacturing operations in Point Lisas, marking a major milestone in efforts to revitalize the national manufacturing sector and boost industrial output. Finally, some good news to revive this extra dead economy. The facility's reopening serves as a key step in strengthening domestic industrial capacity while repositioning Trinidad and Tobago within competitive global trade networks. Speaking at the reopening ceremony, Minister of Works and Infrastructure Jolene John, one of the hardest working members of that failed UNC administration, emphasized that restarting the plant involves far more than simply powering up equipment, and we must give her credit for recently. After the video, the mayor in Diego Martin spoke about the potholes. I heard from a relative that within probably about a day, they began patching areas in Diego Martin. Let's hope that they ended up completing the job and then just go there to play games with the people. Because Diego Martin, the loyal wife of the PNM, will end up making another video again. Right. She noted that the initiative represents a broader commitment to restoring sustainable livelihoods, expanding local industry, and establishing a foundation for long-term economic resilience. Yeah, that's good. That's wonderful jobs for skilled and well-educated, a lot of the times too, individuals. Stop playing games with the poor man. Or UNC was a party for the poor people. Give back people their maintenance jobs. Expand the maintenance program. That's what you all need to do, That's what you all need to do. The recommissioning is expected to create immediate demand for skilled labor across several trade disciplines. As I said before, it's definitely wonderful news, though. Opportunities are set to open up for welders, industrial electricians, line technicians, and specialized maintenance workers, while also providing critical supply chain support to local construction and engineering sectors. Looking forward, government and industry representatives view the Point Lisa's plan as a critical catalyst for future growth. Yes, it's going to stimulate the economy, definitely, just like what we need to do by reopening Petrotrin. By aligning local steel manufacturing with emerging global markets and sustainable industrial practices, the project aims to secure Trinidad and Tobago's role in international supply chains for years to come. Why we don't try and get America to reopen Petrotrin too, boy? They will be the best at doing that, Definitely, it will be managed properly.
Weather report for Tuesday, August 11, 2026, Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago will experience sunny periods in the morning, transitioning to heavy afternoon thunderstorms with temperatures peaking at 28 degrees Celsius and falling to a low of 24 degrees Celsius. The morning will start clear and dry before humidity peaks at 83%, bringing a 65% chance of localized heavy downpours and gusty winds up to 7 miles per hour from the east. Conditions are expected to become mostly cloudy and settle moving into the night. Heavy downpours in the middle of the day can cause temporary water accumulation or flash flooding in low to lying areas. The UV index will peak at 7 high around midday, requiring sun protection if outdoors before the rain starts.
News now, patients at the University Hospital of the West Indies in Jamaica are set to experience significantly improved healthcare outcomes following a major expansion of the facility's clinical capabilities and specialized medical staff. You need good healthcare in no matter where we are living in any part of the world, including Jamaica. Trinidad, we're better than a lot of the other countries in our region. But under the PNM, it was being completely destroyed. Thus far, this new PNM UNC administration, I don't know, but really ain't doing that much of a good job either. The institutional upgrade is designed to streamline critical care operations, dramatically reduce wait times for diagnostic testing, and expand patient access to high-demand specialist treatments. Timing is so important for those type of issues, really important. The shorter, the better. So that sometimes you have to be waiting months too. It's madness, nonsense. Healthcare officials emphasize that scaling up both advanced diagnostic infrastructure and the clinical workforce strengthens the hospital's capacity to deliver timely, high-quality, emergency, and complex medical care across the region. Good news coming out from Jamaica. Jamaica, I love Jamaica. I would love to come and visit Jamaica one of these blessed days. International news now. Tensions in the Middle East have intensified after Iran issued sweeping new demands to Washington as mandatory conditions for fully reopening the Strait of Hormuz, threatening to derail delicate diplomatic negotiations and potentially place military action back on the table. That's what they will continue to do. Trump is spiritually blinded by the Antichrist because it's over and over again throughout this entire year. That's exactly what the radical jihadist terrorists in Iran have done. They will pretend as though they want to have negotiations and talks, but when you listen to their demands, they know very well that America is not going to agree with it. And if America ends up agreeing with it, well, that is it there. It's total madness, total chaos, because you will be funding a terrorist group, a terrorist organization, a terrorist administration. You will be funding it to be able to continue. They will, in turn, continue to fund their proxies, which are Hamas, the Houthis, and Hezbollah throughout the Middle East. Trump better know what nonsense he's doing, Don't ever make a deal with these terrorists. Finish the job once and for all. That's what you need to do. Senior Iranian officials, including representatives from the Supreme National Security Council, announced that the strategic maritime transit points will remain restricted until the United States lifts economic sanctions. Listen to this. Ends regional naval blockades and provides, this is the most ridiculous part, and provides financial compensation for war damages. You want America to give you all back billions of dollars so that you all can be able to continue sponsoring terrorism. Because you're not going to use it to benefit the citizens of your nation. That's not what terrorists do. They have a mission. They have an agenda. They believe it's their mission to destroy infidels in the world, especially Israel and America, little Satan, big Satan, in order to usher in the coming of their Messiah. They're not going to give up on that goal. While Tehran has reportedly made progress with Omani mediators regarding temporary commercial shipping lanes, Iranian diplomats maintain that technical transit agreements remain separate from the broader political concessions demanded from Washington. The sudden escalation in rhetoric complicates international efforts to stabilize global energy markets, heightening fears among military analysts that stalled talks could trigger a resurgence of direct armed conflict in the region. That is the only solution, people. You cannot compromise. You cannot make deals with terrorists. That's something that Israel understands, but America, my goodness, boy, I tell you, you all are spiritually blind. The left is totally spiritually blind, but the right is becoming more blind day by day. Commander of an Israeli-backed militia fighting Hamas in southern Gaza says Israel should reject the second stage of the ceasefire agreement, arguing that Hamas will never voluntarily disarm. You see, even the militants in Gaza understand that these radical jihadists will never, they will pretend as though, yes, once you give us the opportunity, we will disarm and we will become normal law-abiding citizens, and we will try to build a diplomatic relationship with Israel. They're not going to do that. They teach their kids in schools in Gaza and in the West Bank area, which is really Judea and Samaria, to despise Israelis and become martyrs when they grow up. That's what they train their children in the schools and at home. That's what they instill into their minds. So that ain't going to change people. But please, Israel, just like America, as much as you are relying on these militia groups in Gaza, don't trust them either. Because there's a mistake that Israel and even America have done in the past. You trust these little rebel groups, and they end up taking place of the other terrorists if they take control of those regions. So what you need to do, use them for now, Use them for now, but don't ever allow them to take control of Gaza. Otherwise, you're going to end up with just another version of the Hamas. They're pretending to care right now because remember, it's an opponent, right? It's like you have two different teams, but they don't care. They're just pretending to care. Do not trust them. Do not ever trust them. Do not give them any sort of weapons that they can end up using against you. Do not do it. Don't make the mistakes that America made over and over again. And then the world turns around and ends up saying, you see, America caused it and Israel caused it. No. There were enemies that were there that needed to be removed. And instead of Israel or America just taking, like how the IDF ended up taking full action, direct action this time around, in the past, they used to try to depend on these rebel groups in order to get the job done, which was a mistake in the first place. You want to get something done properly? Do it yourself. Hamas knows that if it hands over its weapons, it will no longer be in power. Simple as that. Hussam al-Astal told the Times of Israel. Al-Astal's militia operates in the Khan Yunis area with Israeli logistical and military support and has continued to periodically clash with Hamas despite of the ceasefire. Yeah, but once again, IDF needs to remain in full control. If these people want to assist, fine. But monitor them as well and do not give these militia groups any type of weapons that they can use against the IDF troops and, of course, the Israeli population in the future.
Psalm 34, 1-4. I will extol the Lord at all times. His praise will always be on my lips. I will glory in the Lord. Let the afflicted hear and rejoice. Glorify the Lord with me. Let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears.
I will praise the Lord at all times. Glorify him with me. I sought the Lord, and he answered, and delivered me from all my fears.
Look to the Lord and shine, never shamed. He hears the helpless, sends his angel to guard you, and delivers you. Taste and see his goodness.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's headline news. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.